So, you've been wondering, hey, why is Flame in all apocalyptic clothing? Because, well, let's just say I have a little mixel you called Mixels last world. We're basically where the mixels are in a pandemic with violent bloodthirsty killers. And here are some of the survivors. There will be more soon, as long as I can finally get Spiky to actually talk to me, as I was trying to ask him if I could use some of his mixels, but you know, I don't care. So here's Flame, Grillzar, Patch, Boxlock, Zaptor, Zorch, wanza, and Scaly. So basically, Flame is the leader of the team. Is the leader of the refugees, and knows what is happening. He's a very angry and strict leader now, a far cry from the Flame that we know from the show, showing that Flame has basically been traumatized. Yet Flame, but he's only doing this to protect his friends and his family, and so many others he loves. He still shows his soft side, not his kind and earnest side most of the time, but sometimes he will make tough decisions that normally he doesn't want to do, like killing off one of his friends when they get infected, or well, that kind, or letting a mixel that is way too young to go out there and find food. He knows that what he's doing is horrible, and he knows that one child. That's why he normally comes with the kid. So, because, well, you know, Flame's a good leader and cares about his team. Grillzar is technically still himself, but he really is now very sad recently, because, well, maybe seeing some of your cousins and brothers get horribly glitched out isn't real thing you want to see, like, you know, well, the only mixel that really that survived the, you know, virus is Magmo. Fearburn got slashed in the arm and became after getting infected, start to attack and kill people. So he gets shot. Now Grillzar doesn't like talking about that incident, especially to Flame. Like, Flame was the cause of it, and had to do it just to save their skin. And Flame just wants things to be back to normal. Next up, we have Patch. Patch is technically the same. Sure, he got his arm cut off because it was, you know, because it was horribly, horribly injured to the point that it can never be used again. Yet it was taken off and replaced with a robot arm. And he's still himself. He's still his cheery self, and still confident. Lockbox is much less, a lot less, narcissistic. It actually cares about the team. It actually shows it more because, especially with Wavar, slowly opening up to him and they're slowly becoming friends, even though they're still having a hard time understanding each other. I mean, the stupid, overly positive one and the narcissistic, angry one wouldn't really work well together. But when both Wavar and Lockbox were chosen to go get food, they will and get back A-OK. Because they either or covered in mixel blood, because there's a bunch of freaking demons. Next up is Zaptor. Zaptor basically has a staff and still uses it. Basically uses it to whack people. Zaptor is still himself, but he's a lot less non-jokey but he still has his obsession with ham-loney sandwiches. Like, if that's one of the last food they have left, he will eat it and lie that someone else ate it, when in reality he ate it. And all the other mixels are like, dude, we're in an apocalypse. Why? Next up is Zorch. Zorch isn't that much of a prankster anymore. I mean, why would you prank people after all the stuff you have seen? Like, pranks are technically the lowest thing from your life. And it's now realizing that when it comes to stuff like this, pranking isn't the funniest thing, especially when it comes to scaring somebody into making them think that they're, infected. So, yeah, George isn't that big of a prankster anymore, but he is still trying to tell jokes to light up the mood. Next up is Wanza. Wanza has not changed at all, but he's a lot more sadder that his friends and family has been glitched. Has been infected. And he always carries a picture of him and his siblings just having fun as a way to make him feel better. Next up is Scaly. Scaly was just plain out paranoid. Remember, Fearburn actually has some confidence. Scaly can actually freak out and start running like Sonic the Hedgehog. So he pulls on a putty mask and, is now protected. Well, he's protected from the mist that normally comes around and gas. He normally likes to give his team some of them masks so they won't get infected. And until the red mist pass, like if they're inside, he doesn't really wear it inside. But when he's outside, he always wears it, especially in red mist storms. So yeah, that's all the survivors. I will make a video of all the infected people and all the dead people. So yeah. Hope you like these new designs, and I'll see you